Hi, I'm Nicole and I'm here to take you back in time. We're going back to the year 1923 when Camp Marywood was incorporated. The first location of Camp Marywood was on a 7-acre lot on Pretty Lake near Kalamazoo. In July of 1925, 8 girls camped on this property on Warner Lakes, and the rest is history. Here we are at the original camp entrance to Camp Marywood, where girls would enter and gather around the original farmhouse before going on long hikes to Warner Lake for activities, camping, and swimming. Behind me is where the original farmhouse stood. It was used for dining when the camp first opened. It was owned by the Rogers family before it burned down and was never restored.
Do you have a favorite memory from Camp Marywood, Nicole?
I have no clue.
The owl?
Not the owl.
She'd probably like to hear about that.
What was it? A day?
We were out hiking.
We were out for a day.
I think we spent the night because we were there. It was evening.
It might have been.
We
We
were
were
out
hiking, and someone just screamed duck, and then an owl came flying by, and the owl hit all of us with its wings. And we had no clue where it went after that because everybody was so shooken up from that like we had no clue where it had flown to, but it was a huge owl, like bigger than an owl should have been.
Yeah, you don't think their wings are that big until you see them up close, but yeah.
I didn't even see it. All I felt was the wings. Everybody kept screaming that it was an owl, and I was like, "Oh, is it an owl?" Like, all I knew was something hit me really hard. Like, everybody was saying, like, it's an owl. It was an owl that hit us. Blah 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 blah. And I was like, "Oh, it must have been an owl." See all these trees throughout camp? Back in the 1920s, Camp Marywood was a working farm field. Some of the earliest campers even picked green beans nearby. None of these trees were here. The trees were planted mostly by Girl Scouts throughout the early years of camp. They provide great shade. Behind me, you'll see Stony Lodge. It was built in 1967 once the camp outgrew the original lodge that we are heading to see. Thousands of girls have gathered here throughout the years while staying at Camp Marywood.
Well, the old lodge was there when I went. And then we only had outhouses for a while. Then they built, I think, the one down in the front. I mean, on the lake side of one, just up from the lake a little bit. What's it called now? Wash house.
Yeah, it's not there anymore, but
Oh, it isn't, okay.
that's where they used to clean the fish when you went fishing and stuff,
Oh,
right?
okay, we didn't do that. We didn't fish at all, but we used to go over to the island and spend the night. Take our tents and go over there, canoe over there, and then stay all night, and then cook our meals. Let's see.
This is quite a walk for girls to get to Warner's Lake from the farmhouse. Imagine walking this far in all your gear and no shade.
Names.
Our camp names?
No, yeah, I can't.
Yeah,
I
we
was-
all have one.
I was, oh, I can't, don't tell me, I can't remember. But anyway.
What's your camp name, Nicole?
flames.
Oh, is it?
She likes to start the campfire.
Let's see. Winky, Winky.
Yeah.
I was Winky, yeah.
Oh, how'd you get your camp name?
Because when I eat pickles,
Oh.
my eyes get water here.
Was it because you were winking at all the boys?
Yeah. No, I wasn't. The girls named me.
Here we are at Old Lodge, simply called the Lodge until Stony Lodge was built and it was renamed Old Lodge. The lodge was built so girls didn't have to walk all the way back to the farmhouse to eat. Thank goodness, there were several picnic tables around the building so girls can eat and gather for activities. This was where camping and camp activities took place. Imagine seeing tents pitched and girls running up the hill for dinner at the end of the day. What a sight that must have been. Have you ever wondered what these are? I know I have. They are root cellars where food and supplies were stored for the lodge. This is what they remain of today. Now there are several refrigerators throughout the camp. This pavilion used to be the cook's cabin in 1971. It was renamed Smoky Haven, and in 2006, it was converted into this pavilion when the original cabin became too damaged to use. This green building used to be the original health center. Over the years, it has also been used as the director's cabin, camp office, and staff cabin. It is no longer used.
I
To be
still
your girls, you
go
know?
some places, hear, hey, Winky, and I'm like,
Yeah.
now they all name me, way early on, they named me Winky, because I winked when I ate a pickle. Was the first meeting
Well, I
we
guess
had.
that Winky's better than calling you pickles, right?
Yeah, the first night we met, we had a cookout at my house. And when I had a pickle and someone saw me, you know, my eyes just sort of, you know. Oh, now we know what to call her. So they had a vote.
Well, now it's just like we all just pick our camp names.
Uh-huh.
I gave myself flames because I really like starting the fires, but everybody else come up with the weirdest names. Like
Yeah.
my best friend's camp name is Nacho Cheese,
Uh-huh. That's
or we
cute.
have
That's
TP1
good.
and TP2.
Uh-huh. That's okay.
Like we just have the weirdest camp names now.
Yeah. That's good.
This hill is where Color Hill has thought to have been. It was the original flagpole of camp. Girls would gather for flag ceremonies daily. I've always wondered about this cabin. This is the lost cabin. It actually isn't a cabin at all. It has never been used for sleeping. It was the camp office and the trading post through the 60s until Stony Lodge was built, and then it became the activity building. Camp Marywood has changed a lot since 1926. It has changed and adapted to the different needs of girls throughout history. It started as a 7-acre property on Pretty Lake to a camp now over 200 acres and several buildings throughout. We even have Wi-Fi.